Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at this 3A figure, and it is Bumblebee from Transformers The Last Knight. And same box design as the Optimus Prime, so here's what it looks like from the front. And there's the back, so let's get Bumblebee out of packaging. Alright, so here we have Bumblebee outside of packaging in a pose with the cannon. And before we go into details and everything, first thing you want to do is make sure you read the instructions. And the instruction pretty much gives you all the information you need about this figure. And in here it also shows you range of motion and stuff like that as well. And if you have gotten the exclusive version, you would get this piece of instruction as well for the exclusive cannon arm, how to attach it, where the battery is supposed to go, etc, etc. So let's start off with giving a good look at B at the moment. And as far as accessories, we have the arm cannon, which I'll show in detail in a little bit. And so that's why you see the arm. It's on the table right here. And then you might notice the shoulder pads also here. And that's one issue I have. You can see actually broke off. The two pegs that's attached to the shoulder broke off, and also this figure is missing a piece of panel here, right here in front, right here. This panel, this section right here, supposed to have a panel which is on this side. You can see it on this side. I move that piece out of the way. You can see this piece right here wasn't attached over here, and it's not even in the box, so it's completely missing. So now I'm in the process, and as I was saying, I'm in the process of contacting 3A to get a replacement piece, so I could attach that piece back onto his shoulder. Hopefully I'll get that in the mail, or they'll answer my email first at least. So let's go over the accessories. Comes with a hammer right here, and then a piece. This piece is to attach the hammer onto his backside, and then this little peg here is to attach to the hammer, which attaches to his hand so he could grip the hammer. And and then the battle mask, which he has on right now. So that's all the accessories you'll get. I mean, technically that's all the accessories, because some of the pieces you have to put on yourself. Like these two panels right here, front of his thigh, those you have to put on yourself. They're ball joints. And then on the back, the wings, you have to attach. Basically the doors of this piece slides right out. Right there, you need to put this on yourself, and then the tire you also need to attach yourself. It's also on a ball joint. It's pretty simple, easy to attach, so there shouldn't be any issues with it. And when you first get this out of the box, it has a little instruction right here, taped to the door, to the inside door. It tells you that you don't want to bend this part right here, this hinge. You don't want to rotate that piece, because you'll snap right off. And then it tells you how to attach the tire as well. So yeah, that's about it. Alright, so let's take a good look at B here. Before I remove the battle mask, I just want to show you what the battle mask looks like on him. Looks great. Does look very organic looking. And if I rotate him a little bit, you guys can see. It's a good looking battle mask here. So let's go further down. And here's a good look at the chest, and there's a lot of intricate details here. And then here in the torso section, the abdominal section, that's basically one piece. This is all one piece. There's no extra pistons or anything that's layered up or anything. And then we have the crotch section, these panels, these flaps here, they're rubbery plastic. So yeah, further down the legs, rotate it a little so you guys can see. there's that panel you have to attach yourself, and the rest of the legs. There's one, and here, knee pad. There's a hinge there for it to move up and down. And here's the one foot. Really good looking. And here's the other one. Let's take a look at that arm cannon, the exclusive piece that you'll get if you order through bamboland.com. That's what it looks like. And attaching this thing is very, very hard. It's very tough to attach this thing. So with this arm here, there are two buttons you need to press, kind of like the old Bumblebee if you own the original one. You need to press these two buttons right here. Let me focus a little. So here are the two buttons you need to press, and then inside here you'll see the clamp actually opens up and closes. And same with the arm cannon, it has two buttons where you need to press in order to open up the clamp, but it's really tough. For some reason, the arm it's a lot easier to open up all the way, but for the cannon it's a lot harder. And so yeah, I was able to attach the arm very easily, but with the arm cannon it took quite a long time for me to get it on him. Okay, so another piece that I was deadly afraid of moving is the shoulder section right here. This joint right here, for some reason, is very, very stiff. Here, there is an attachment. You can see how the arm could swing forward like that. There's a butterfly joint right there. So here, there's another joint. This is the ratcheting joint where you can move the arm up and down, but it is very, very stiff. So when you're trying to pull this arm down, you're applying a lot of pressure in the inner section here. So that's one thing I'm really concerned about. I worry that one day if I force it too much, it's gonna snap this whole section off. But here, I'll move it. You can see how hard it is to move this. You can see that is very, very hard to move, and then the shoulder pad can move around. But the shoulder pad, the thing you gotta worry about is these two pegs right here. These are the only two pieces that's attaching onto the shoulder pad section here. This piece right here. Let me zoom out a little bit so you guys can see this piece. Only two pieces, two pegs that's attaching the shoulder pad. So when you're moving this shoulder pad around, most people are gonna hold this piece and then try to move it around. And you're applying a lot of pressure onto these two very, very thin pegs here. So that's what happened. I tried to mess with it a lot, and then it completely fell off. But the shoulder pad itself right here, there's this piece that's attached to it, and then inside there are two ball joints here. One is attached here, and then one is attached here. So which allows you to move the shoulder pad around, but I think eventually this one's gonna fall off too. And what I probably end up having to do is that I'm gonna have to super glue it on, because I don't know, it's gonna break. I could just see it breaking. So yeah, and then the arms can move forward and back every which way, and you could hear the ratcheting joint. And then bicep, there's a swivel. See, you can see this thing keeps moving around. And then butterfly joint, I already mentioned. And then bicep, there's a swivel right here. And then as for the arms, lower the camera a little. As for the arm, there are three joints right here. 1, 2, and 3. So when you bend the elbow, maybe it's easier to bend this side. Oop, the tire fell off. So let me rotate the arm out here. See, it's hard to get it on camera and in focus. So like I was saying, there's one joint right here, two joint and three joints right here. So when you move, you can see this one moves, and then the outer one is moving, and then the center one can also rotate a little bit. So there are technically three joints here. Well, I don't know. Maybe the center one won't move because it doesn't look like it's moving. Only the outer two is moving. No, actually, yeah. No, yeah, so there are three joints here. Yeah. So 1, 2, and 3. Well, I should point like this. 1, 2, and 3. For it to bend a little over 90 degrees. Not a whole lot, because the bicep panel does get in the way. So, I mean, it's a robot, so you're gonna have something that's gonna impede with the articulation a bit here and there. So I'm okay with that. So as for the torso, the chest can move. There is a ball joint right here, so 360, and then lower the abdominal section, the waist section, there's also another joint which allows it to move also the ball joint position. And then the hips are on a. As for the leg, I popped this panel out so you can easily see the leg itself, but here's that panel you're supposed to attach yourself. There's a socket joint, and then there's the ball joint right here. And then so as for the leg, ratcheting joint, all movement. I mean, it's a soft ratcheting joint, but it does move around. And then there's a little thigh swivel underneath. And then as for the legs, how many joints are there? There are only 2, I think. Well, maybe 3, I'm not sure. But focus, let me see. I think there's 1, 2, and 3 as well. But this one doesn't allow you to bend that far back. Even in the instruction, it tells you not to overbend this thing, because you do run the risk of breaking it, or at least chipping the paint. So I think that's about how much it could bend. I don't want to force it, so you can bend about that much. And then as for the legs, as for the ankle section, there is a ball joint. I'm not sure if I can see it right here, right above the tire. It is on a ball joint, so you can move it around a little bit. And then here is kind of strange. This the toe section, it's a sliding joint. It slides forward like that, and then slides back. So it's in an arc. So you can slide like that, and slide it back. Yeah, so that's about it. Alright, so the tie fell off, so here's what it looks like. There's a ball joint right here, ball joint, and then there's a socket joint right there. And the instruction tells you to hold it with 2 fingers, like that, and then attach it, but you don't really need to. You could just pop that baby right in without any issues, I don't think. So just pop, and then it's in there. I mean, it's not super tight or anything. It's not a super tight lock-in type of socket joint, but it's on there. And then the tires, there's a little rubber running around it. So soft rubber, it's kind of neat. But yeah, that's that. And then again, you just need to attach this piece back on. And it slides right on quite easily. When I said easily, and it doesn't go in easily, which defeats the purpose of saying it attach easily. God damn it. Okay, so I need to rotate this back. Okay. It could only go in one way, so gotta make sure it's in the right position for it to go in. And I'm sure my arm completely covered that up, but there it is. And those are the wings on this back side. And yeah, there's B. And there's his face. Now this one looks way more accurate than the previous version from Darker to the Moon. This one's from last night, and I have to say this head sculpt is way better than the other one. which is the reason why I sold the other one, because I knew this one was coming, and I figured I don't need two Bumblebees, and that one was kind of chunky, and the head sculpt is just not that great, so I decided to sell that one and get this one, because I really like this head sculpt. It looks just like how he looked in the film, even though the film wasn't great, but it's nice to see a Bumblebee that looks completely, well, I wouldn't say completely accurate, but it looks almost identical to the one in the film. So yeah. And then if you want to attach batteries, all you have to do is remove the top, detach the top, and then put two batteries in, which I actually have batteries, but they're not the right size, which I'll still show you guys. And so batteries are in, so there's a button on the back of his head. Once you press it, come on, there you go, size light up, and he looks great. Rotate him a little bit so you guys can see it better, and he looks absolutely gorgeous. Bring him in a little bit, so let me focus in on those eyes. Really nice, huh? So yeah, those are his eyes. And then I don't have too many batteries, so his chest also lights up, which I probably won't demonstrate because I don't want to keep removing the batteries around. But the headlights on his chest, they do light up. They just white lights. And then the cannon also light up. It's a red light. Alright, another thing I want to mention is that when you're trying to put batteries into this arm cannon, it is extremely hard to remove this piece. This whole section is supposed to come out. This is all one piece. So what I had to do is that I had to use a little screwdriver and then kind of wedge it in between and then just pry it open a little bit. It didn't do any damage to it. If you do it slowly, you wouldn't put any marks on it or anything like that. So once you did that, then you could easily slide this out. And then here you can see it houses two batteries, and it takes AG13 batteries. Two of these. So basically this figure needs two batteries for the head, two batteries for the chest, and two batteries for the cannon, which Threea didn't give you guys batteries for it, so you have to purchase them yourself. And then the button's right here to activate the light. You press that, and then the red light will go on. And then you just all you have to do once you put the batteries in, just push this back in to the slot here. Let's see. Oh, okay. No, actually, it's this way. Okay, there you go. And you push it all the way back in, and there you go. Alright, so I kind of did want to mention this, but now I have to, because another piece fell off. This piece, it's actually on his tricep right here. This piece back here, there's a little piece supposed to attach to it right there, and it fell off, so now I have to glue it back on. And then another piece that fell off with this panel right here underneath the cannon. It came right off when I first took it out of the box. This piece came right off, and then also there was another piece that fell off, which is this right here. This piston piece right here fell off. You could easily remove this. You can see this fell off. It's supposed to be attached, and then there's another slot right there. You need to attach that on the bottom, and that fell off. So a lot of pieces keep falling off this figure, I have to say. So here's the size comparison between Optimus Prime and Bumblebee, and you guys can see Bumblebee definitely shorter than Prime, but in the film he is a lot shorter, and this version it's a lot taller. I think in the movie Bumblebee should only go up to around his waist, so he is definitely a head taller, a head and a half taller than what he's supposed to be in the film. But toys wise, he's a little bigger, which I'm alright with. I don't really care. It's not that big of a deal that they have to be in scale right now. They're okay. I don't mind it. So at the end of the day, is this figure worth getting? Yes, I say it's an absolutely gorgeous piece. It looks just like Bumblebee in the film, but there are issues with this figure. There are a lot of pieces keep falling off, and then because whenever you're trying to pose this figure, you have to grab certain parts of this figure in order to do that. And then there's a lot of bits and pieces that are sticking out. I like the fact that they layer things up, but they shouldn't keep falling off. So I have to glue them back on, and then shoulder pads you gotta really have to be careful about. Other than that, I think majority of the figure is awesome, and everything else seems to be great. And yeah, absolutely gorgeous piece. And the paint job. This one definitely has a yellow paint versus the previous version. The previous Bumblebee, I think all they did was put a gloss over the actual yellow plastic to create that shine on Bumblebee. But this one, it looks like they actually painted a yellow color over the plastic in order to achieve that paint, and also they put a gloss over it as well. So yeah, I think this one is much nicer, much more accurate, and the previous version was very bulky. He was kind of chunky Bumblebee, but this one is very accurate in my opinion. I'm sure there are still pieces. I mean, if you watch the film frame by frame, of course you're gonna tell the difference between this one and the movie counterpart. But as far as I could see, because I don't look at these things through a microscope, so I think he looks absolutely gorgeous and very accurate to the film, and I really like this bee. And yeah, so that's my final thought on this Bumblebee figure from 3A. Thanks for watching.